Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck and Cooper. I guess we should turn the screen. Anyway, totally forgot what I was going to say. He distracted me. This is my weekly reading update for January 14th, 2024. So, we are kind of snowed in, not really. I mean, we got a couple of inches yesterday, snow-wise. And it's really, really cold out. It's in the teens or, low 20s. For us, that's pretty cold. We don't get that cold that often. My hands are actually dry, and I don't ever have trouble with my hands with that. So you can really tell it's cold out. So we've been hunkering down. I went to the grocery store on Friday when they let us out a little bit early due to, I work with stuff with construction and big trucks and things, that they didn't want any of us on the road. So they sent us all home pretty early, or well, I went home at about 2. A lot of people left at noon. I left a little bit later because I just wanted to make my 40 hours. And then I went grocery shopping so that I was set for the next couple of days, which I was. So I made a casserole last night, and today I've already browned hamburger, and I'll be making enchiladas later today. So I'm set for food. My brother is actually going to go and brave the streets. Again, he's a good driver in that, like, he's done it before. Like, he always goes to work even if it snows here. So I'm not worried about him that way. Just other people are scary on the road here. They don't know how to drive. And then the only thing is that we had really big gusts of wind, and our snow was kind of icy snow. Like, it was tinkling against the glass when it was coming down. It was hilarious. But we had big gusts of wind, and part of my brother's fence fell down. So we will have to take care of that because, again, we live in a duplex and we share all expenses on the, big things on the house. So darn it, we will have to deal with the fence. Was not on my 2024 list, but I guess we'll have to do something later. We're just, we left it down because the gusts were still so high yesterday. I know they're at least in the 20s, maybe 30 miles per hour. I don't know what they were here, but they were hitting up against the house pretty hard. So anyway, that's kind of it where I'm at. Hopefully I'll get to go to work tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not sure with the way the roads were still pretty white out there. I'm not sure that they'll let us open. So anyway, I might have an extra day off tomorrow. And I know that a lot of people have it off for the holiday, but we don't get that one. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Anyway, so let's talk about the books that I finished, the ones I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm going to read in the next week. So I am DNFing a book, but it's kind of a different twist. So this one's a book I've read before. I read the first 2 books in this series back in 2013. I think I looked up the dates. So it's been well over 10 years. And I had 7 books from the series on my shelf, and I was like, this is one of those series I want to try to get back into and see if I want to read it. So I did try to read The Warrior Wants Forever by Cressley Cole. This is the first book in the Immortals After Dark. And again, I have tried this series. I read the first 2 books back in 2013, and then I collected a few more of them, but I never returned to it. So I thought, well, let's re-listen. I got that from the audio from Livy because I only had this on ebook, and at the time I just wanted to try it. And so I got 47% of the way through this novella, well, short novel. I don't know, it's 163 pages. Anyway, and I got halfway through and I was just like, you know what? I don't care enough. Like, I have too many series and too many other things. It's nothing against the series. It had some themes and stuff that I remember from other books that I'm not sure it's what I want from my urban fantasy, paranormal romance kind of stories. But it's not bad. It wasn't bad at all. It's just, I need to get some series off my shelves that I'm just not going to focus on. And I did try this, over 10 years ago, and I never continued. I mean, it's 11 years that they sat on my shelf, and I carried them around for a while, until I moved here. And then, it's just, I just can't. So I decided to let this series go. Again, that takes 7 books off of my, well, it takes 6 books off of my TBR, 7 off my shelf, because one of them I'd already read before. So I'm just going to let it go. I know a lot of people love this series. this is just not my kind. I'm not into it. This one followed Nikolai, who is a vampire, a couple centuries old, and he is a warrior, and he's got into this castle, and he finds Mist, who is locked in the dungeon, and he doesn't know who or what she is at first, and then when he goes to interrogate her, things go wrong, and they find out that they are mated, and she is a Valkyrie, and she pretty much abandons him when that's supposed to be, you know, this really thing that they're all working towards is the mates, except for the Valkyries. So she leaves him in pain, and it takes him 5 years to find her, and then it's kind of like the aftermath. And maybe I don't like a revenge plot quite that much. I don't know. It was just, I didn't get along with it. So it's too bad, but I have read that before. I mean, I did read the book after that, Hunger Like No Other, which I enjoyed, but it's been 11 years. I really don't want to come back to the series. I've decided to just move on, and so it's kind of a weird situation, but it's one of those things where, you know, I just have too many series. I just need to narrow down the ones that I really want to read, and that is one I came back to. I tried it, and I'm like, I don't like it like enough. It was ones I gave 3 stars to back in, you know, 11 years ago, so it wasn't like a high rated series for me. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, so hold on, I'm gonna come back in a second. Sorry about that. My brother was sending me pictures just down the street of a tree that had come down in the middle of someone's yard. It did not hit the house, nor did it look like it hit any trees, but it completely destroyed somebody's garbage can that they didn't pull in at night, because Friday was our garbage day. So anyway, the point is they didn't pull it in, and it was destroyed. The tree was huge. I mean, so it's, wow. I'm so glad we took care of our trees last year. I mean, that was the one nice thing with all the gusts and winds. We were so glad that we had taken care of our trees, that they're gone, so we don't have anything that could hit the house, because we were very worried about that. So anyway, hold on, let me get a drink here. I again have my Scooby-Doo cup. I love it. Okay, so now let's talk about the books that I finished. Sorry about that little interruption, but winter stuff. So I did finish The Sinful Ways of Jamie Mackenzie by Jennifer Ashley on Sunday. Again, I think I was halfway or a little bit over halfway, so I don't think I had, oh no, I was pretty close to the end. But this completes or catches me up on the Mackenzie McBride series, which I have been reading for a long time. And so but this was the last one that she published in 2021. She's been focusing on a lot of mysteries and some other things, so she hasn't really come back to my Mackenzies and McBrides. I'm hoping she does, because this opens up the next generation. So I'm really excited to that I caught up on this series. I meant to catch up on this in 2023, because I read, did I read 3 or 4 of the books in the series? I still had quite a few left to read, and I read them during the year trying to get this done. So this was the last one. And so this is following Jamie, who is the son of Lord Ian Mackenzie, the first hero of the in the series of the madness of Lord Ian Mackenzie, which is still my favorite book of the series. But this is his son. So we're now in the 1908. So we're out of the 1880s, 1890s. We're in the next generation, which are the 1808. So it's kind of interesting to see the technology stuff that they've put in here. And then we're following Jamie. He runs into somebody that he knew in the Cambridge area when they were both going to school. She was going to one of the women's colleges there, and he was at Cambridge. And so they had interacted. They had kind of a funny back history, and they kind of run into each other, and then he kind of gets involved in stuff that she is trying to help her friend with a heist at the British Museum. So it was kind of like a weird plot the first half, but then it turned into the historical romance series, or the romance happened, and then that's the part I liked, is when they were getting to know each other and changing what they thought of certain things. And anyway, it was just it said they were really cute together. So overall, I enjoyed this. It's not perfect or anything. Again, I think the heist thing was kind of off the wall. But I like the way it concluded. I like the way everything came together in the end. Like I said, I'm hoping she'll come back. She says she's going to write more in this series, but I haven't seen anything in quite a while. So we'll see what happens, but I am caught up on this series. So, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm glad I'm still working on my series. This was one of my Booktube Spin ones from Booktube Spin 8 that Rick McDonnell does. So these ones, he did it in, I think, December. So I did read the first one of that list, and then I went right into the second one. So I got both my Booktube Spin books done for this quarter, which is pretty nice because I usually never get them both done. So this is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams, and I just adore this. So this is one of those contemporary romances that is not going to work for everybody. It's very light, kind of fluffy. It's kind of sweet. This is a friends to lovers trope where these friends from they've been friends from high school, and then, you know, they kind of drifted apart during college, and then once they were adults, they ran into each other again in LA. And she is, has a ballet studio, and she has some of her backstory with that. He is a professional football player, and so they ran into each other. They started up their friendship again. So for 6 years, they've been both in the friend zone kind of thing. And they both want to, like, they've been staying there because they don't want to ruin anything between them. And so they've both been dating other people and stuff. And so the beginning part of this book is when he breaks up with his current girlfriend, and she has just broken up with her boyfriend the day before. It just happened to work out that way. And so now they are for the first time in all those years, they're finally, both of them are not dating somebody else. And then something happens where they have to fake date because something goes viral that she says. Anyways, hilarious. It's hilarious. And so again, he is very popular because he is the quarterback of this football team. This NFL team. It's made up kind of football team anyway, but the point is it was really so. And then I just loved all the characters in this, the guys, the football guys. They were just fun. I liked them. And then their relationship and how they both liked each other. You know, they were both goofy together, you know, and it was just goofy fun. Like this. So I loved When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect from her, which she wrote after this one. Cat! Jesus, Cooper. But this one she wrote earlier, and so I'm not sure I want to read the rest of her, because this is one I was kind of iffy about, but I just adored this. It was just joy for me. It was just fun. It made me laugh. It kind of made me, I don't know if I mean, I kind of teared up, but not really at this one point, but it was just kind of like, it was just hit the heart feels kind of thing. So it wasn't quite crying. So, well, I didn't think I marked it down as that, but I just thought it was a cute romance. I liked the way they got together. I liked the way they were both first trying to resist it, you know, that they didn't want to, you know, to ruin anything, and then they both take the chance. And I just think it was really cute. I think it was well done. I really enjoyed it. This is not part of a series, but a book comes out in, I think it's early April, the rule book, which follows one of the team members that was mentioned in here of his. So I really now need to get that one. And I don't know if I'm going to read some of her other backlists. So if you guys have read her, let me know. Again, I don't read a huge amount of contemporary, but for some reason, Sarah Adams is just hitting right for me. And so far, I loved all three of the books that I've read by her. So this was just fun. And again, I don't think everybody's going to find it. I went and looked at the Goodreads stuff, and a lot of people didn't like it because it was kind of too fluffy. It's the hard-hitting stuff is not, it's like normal stuff. I don't know. It's not traumatic, like huge. Like there's traumatic to these people, but not like huge, horrible backstories. Anyway, I really liked the way this one went, and I'm really glad I read it. And so, anyway, so I got both my Booktube Spin books done. And one of those, as I said, was a 5-star, which I'm really excited about. So anyway, I finished that. During the week, I was doing we did it Monday through Wednesday. Tia at Genres and Journals, she and I continued our buddy read of Alona Andrews. Sorry, my nose itches. So again, we're really down to the end. The Kingsman universe is the last books that we have. So we have this bind up. It has Silent Blade, Silver Shark, and A Mere Formality. So what these are sci-fi books. They're out in the universe, these planets, and we're meeting, like, most of these take place on this one planet. The first two, the two novellas, kind of long short story and novella, and then a short story. And the first two take place kind of on this one planet. And they have these people called Kingsmen who have, like, magical powers of some sort. And they also have this really cool technology, because again, they are in space, or, they're out in the, they've gone to these planets. There's this, like, biotech kind of universe, kind of like an online thing where people, kind of like the Matrix kind of thing, where you go into this different world and everybody sees it a different way, but that's how they go and get information, or or try to infiltrate other people's information and stuff. So it's really cool. I'm not explaining it very well, but usually we're dealing with a couple who are kind of on the opposite sides of each other, and for different reasons, and then things kind of get together. The problem is with this one is that I think they're all, the middle book, Silver Shark, was my favorite of the three because it was the longest and it explained more, and we got to know both characters pretty well, even though I'm pretty sure it was just, yeah, it's just from Claire's her point of view. But I really liked her, and I liked her backstory and how the stuff that she dealt with, and then what she had to deal with when she got to this new planet, and what she had to do and to protect herself, and then how that kind of unravels with where she works. And it was interesting. The first one was, again, kind of a revenge one, but I liked it, but there wasn't enough. I was hoping for more. It was kind of short, but it was only like 57 pages. So, I always want more. And then the short story, A Mere Formality, was just, it was too quick and it just kind of dropped you in, and it didn't give enough information. And I feel like it was more, just an exercise, or just let's just write out these couple scenes that go together kind of thing. I didn't do a whole lot for me. I mean, there could have been more to it, but I just felt it was too rushed in the end. It was only, 30 some pages, so it wasn't super long. But anyway, so we've read, so this is, I think is considered 1, 1 and 1.5 and 2, I think, or something like that. Anyway, we've read those that were in this really pretty bind up. So we read this over early in the week, and then then there's one more book, Fated Blaze, that came out in 2023. So we'll read that, and then we're caught up on everything that they've written. Then we have to wait for them to publish again. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, but T and I enjoyed this. This wasn't the best, but I like their sci-fi, and it was really interesting to see it. So we will see what happens in the next probably next month. As I said, we're planning February. And then the last thing I finished was Thud by Terry Pratchett. So I finally picked up this book. I have been trying to get back to the Discworld series for years. I binged them all, I don't know, maybe 8-9 years ago. And then I got to this point, and then I just haven't picked them up in quite a few years. And so I have 5 books left in the main Discworld series. I am not counting the Tiffany Aiken books because I'm not attracted to, I tried to read We Free Men, and I've tried twice, and I don't think that series is for me because I think it's considered middle grade or young adult. I don't know what it is, but I just can't get into it. So I'm just going to let that go. So I only have I had 5 of the main novels left, in Discworld to read. So I was excited that the first one that I had left was Thud, which is a City Watch book. And so City Watch, sub-series is my favorite of the Discworld. So, again, this year I'm hoping to finish out Discworld. So Thud was the first one to read, and so I did do that. This is following, of course, Sam Vines, and he has trouble because there is this big anniversary about a big battle between dwarves and trolls, and everybody's kind of, even in the city, they're all starting to get kind of antsy and looking at enemy, like, across the way there. And then something happens that happens underground, and then that kind of takes over, and everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. And Sam Vines, of course, is the the one in charge, and he's trying to figure it out. And I just love him and all the characters in the watch. So this was fun. I did like the way it went. I wasn't expecting certain things that happened in here. So I did enjoy this one. It took me a while to get back into the mindset of Discworld though, because it's been so long and there's so much satire on things. And there's also things that are like modern that are in this fantasy world. It's just so, I just love the Discworld. At some point I want to, as I said, this year I'm hoping to finish it, and then maybe I can go back and read all the City Watch books, which I don't think I own all of them, but I got quite a few of them, but I want to reread those at some point. So, but I made progress. So now I have only 4 novels left. So those are all the things that I finished. And, so let's talk about what I'm in the middle of. I'm still in the middle of The Way of Kings. I put this kind of aside this week. I didn't listen to much of it. I still have about 190 pages in this book. And then I still have all of this book left. So this goal this week is I'm hoping to get back, and I just didn't listen to audiobooks much at all last week. It wasn't an audiobook week for me. You know, again, if you guys have noticed, I go kind of into, I fluctuate between when I listen to a lot of audiobooks and when I don't listen to audiobooks. So Way of Kings though is still a priority. I want to get this done this month. So, I hope that at least I get done with the first section, so the last 190. I'm hoping to get that done this week, and then hopefully be in the middle of this one for next week and try to finish it out. So we'll see what happens. That's what, I don't need to talk about the Stormlight Archive. I've been working on that. So we'll see what happens. I also did start Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. This is a book that I tried from the library, a year and a half ago. I don't know. Whenever it came out, I got it from the library, and I only read a little bit of it, and I didn't really like the narration style of when it talked about the past stuff with Mara. Yeah. But anyway, I got the audiobook from the library, and I did listen to about an hour's worth one day at work. As I said, I haven't listened to much. So I do want to read this. So I might do audio. I might do it physically. But I'm hoping to pick this up and finish it this week. We'll see what happens. It's only a little over 300 pages. So I do have, 280 to read. But I hear so many good things about this. And this is one of the T. Kingfishers I own that I haven't read yet. So I do want to try to get to that. This one is following a woman who is... She is the youngest daughter of a small kingdom, and she, due to marriages and things like that, she was sent to kind of a convent thing so that she wouldn't disrupt any of the airlines, whatever you call it, when, whoever's in succession, who gets the crown later. So she is kind of taken out, and her first sister had passed away by an accident, and then her second sister is also sent to the same prince from another country, and then it's not going so well, but she, so we're seeing, I haven't got too far, just know that Mara's trying to save her sister, and I think other things, but we'll see what happens. But I know that there's a bone dog so far. That's about as far as I got, as I said. So I'm hoping to work on that. The other thing that I am currently working on is something that's I'm going to keep a secret a little bit longer. I am in the middle of it right now. I'll probably have a vlog up for it later this week. But it's kind of disrupted my schedule of why I decided to do this, but we'll see what happens. So I am working on this. This is the book sleeve. Sorry, I'm not going to show the book because anyway, I'm about halfway through the book, little less than halfway. So, as I said, I'm hoping to get a lot done today, cause I don't have a whole lot after I do my filming stuff this morning, and I cooked mostly. I mean, I still have to put the enchiladas together, but really I don't have much to do except for other chores around the house. Anyway, so I'm hoping to, finish that off. And then I have so many books I want to read. So many books I want to read. But the next one I think I'm going to pick up physically after my secret book. I don't do that very often, you guys. I don't like to hide things from you, but I'm trying to get it done. We'll see what happens. I really just want to tell you what it is, but that's fine. We'll try to be secret about that book. But I do want to pick up Cruel Seduction by Katie Robert. I've had this for a couple months and I just haven't got to it. And the next book comes out this week. I probably won't get my copy till later in the month, but because I'm part of her Patreon, so I think it'll come later. But I need to read this before Midnight Ruin, and I really want to read Midnight Ruin because I want to see how that goes, because it's a groveling book. I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to go. But this is the one with following Aphrodite, Hephaestus, Adonis, and Pandora. So I'm not sure how this whole dynamic is going to go. I haven't heard a whole lot of people talk about this one as much as the earlier books, but I've really enjoyed all of the Dark Olympus series so far. And again, I want to get caught up on some of her books. I still have this one and Hunt on Dark Waters that I need to get to because more books are coming. So I'm hoping to get to this one next physically. So, but I think I'm really going to try to work on my audio this coming week. And again, it just matters if I'm snowed in or stayed home. Again, you have to understand Oregon, we're not prepared for snow and ice like other parts of the country because we just don't get it enough to put that into our infrastructure. We just don't have a whole lot going on. So that's kind of how that's going. Other than that, I think that's everything. I think I've talked enough again. So what are you guys reading? What are you, how was your week? Did you guys get the winter storm stuff? I know a lot of people probably did here in the US. I don't know how the rest of the world is doing with their winter. It is cold here. As I said, my hands for the first time are really dry, and I'm not used to that because my hands normally never do that. So that's kind of weird. And can you guess what I'm reading? If you can, let me know. Anyway, I think that's it. Let me know what you're reading, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.